What's up, dudes? Welcome back to another episode of Rhomas Men's Team. Pretty simple. We are a group of guys helping each other make progress towards each other's goals. If you're new to the channel, awesome and welcome. If you want to help support the channel and join our pro team, head over to rhomasteam.com/pro, where you can contribute to us on a donation basis. We also give you access to exclusive content, mastermind groups, etc., etc. So anyway, hope you enjoy this episode, and we'll see you on the team. What's up, dudes? Matt is on hiatus today. He's running a bunch of projects. So if anybody wants to come on, please feel free. I'm going to just send a bunch of invites. Let's see. I'll send everybody who's on. Invite on screen. Lucas, Ryan, Gunther, what's up? I know a lot of you are probably at work. Glenn, Kaizen, Jordan, Patty P, what's up, brother? Sorry, I'm just inviting you guys. Whoever wants to come on screen, you're welcome. Kaizen, what's up, brother? Are you able to chat, bro?
Yeah, I had a meeting earlier this morning, and I'm already done with that. I'm just working on a couple of things.
Sweet. Jordan, what's up, bro? How you doing?
Yeah, how you doing, man?
Good, man. Welcome on, dude.
Good to be here.
Yeah. So, well, first of all, Jordan, I think this is the first time you're on with me, right?
Yep.
All right. So I could always riff with Kaizen. I love having Kaizen on because I feel like he and I have studied a lot of the same stuff. I get that feeling. So Jordan, if you are, let's say if there's one obstacle, either one obstacle or one win you want to share, I think there's always more value in the obstacles, and you can have us all go back and forth on it. Relative to your goals, what would that be?
What's my current obstacle?
Yeah.
Right now, I think a big one is just myself. I keep getting my own way.
How so?
A lot of just self-doubt. And every time I start to make progress in the goals that I'm doing right now, I feel like I stop myself and I sabotage my progress. And I mean, there's other things involved in that, I guess. But right now, I'm just trying to get into my head and just figure out a way to keep on pushing through rather than stopping and then starting over again.
Got it. And dude, first of all, thank you for having the balls to share that, because a lot of guys are like, oh, no, everything's good. And dude, by the way, I deal with the same shit. I think I don't know if that's an ever ending thing. Okay. So, and let's say relative to a particular goal, what's one goal where you've noticed that pattern with yourself?
My career has been a big one with that. I make moves and then I get stuck in the next thing I'm doing, and I feel like I make lateral moves. Sometimes I'm like, oh shit, I'm stuck. I need to do something different. And then I do make a better move and I get into a better roll or whatever. And I kind of repeat that same process. So it's a slow build, but I feel like I see myself getting stuck a bunch. And right now I'm doing the same thing, and I'm actually trying to figure out a way to get out of the white collar world and the business world, because I'm starting to feel it just suck all my energy. And it's just it's going to grow us into this new, I found a new community in the city I'm in, where I'm just seeing people do really cool things, and I like what they're doing, and I'm trying to see what I can do to get more into that community and more of a physical wellness space and stuff.
Okay. And then if you don't mind me asking, what do you do now? What do you do now, and what do you think you want to do?
I'm in sales operations right now. I've been back and forth between account management and sales operations, and I was in IT for a while, and that just wasn't I thought that was my passion, what I was going to do, and then I ended up stopping that just because I didn't like working in IT, but I enjoy technology. And so right now I'm just in the sales space and the white collar world. But what I want to do, I want to help people be better. So there's a backstory with me. I went through 100-pound weight loss journey, and I'm still focusing on bettering myself health wise and everything, and just trying to get better and better in that space. And I have actually stopped getting in my own way as far as physical wellness and everything goes. but now it's like to put that into other aspects of my life because I feel like I put a lot of focus on like my physical being, and now that I think I have a lifestyle that kind of supports me being healthier in that way. I really need to work up here and like healthier up here because I don't spend enough time on that.
Got it. Love it. Okay, and then if you don't mind me asking, and then Kaizen, I don't know if there's some sort of like ringing or something. I don't know if it's possible to turn off. If not, no sweat. So thanks, bro. And dude, Kaizen, Topo Chico, spot on, brother. Okay, Jordan, if you don't mind me asking, and if you don't feel comfortable sharing this, that's okay. What would you hope to be making in, let's say, your vision of your career, or at least like relatively making in the relatively near future?
Do you mean making financially, like money? That's a tough question too, I guess, because I know that like the space I want to go into, I know I'm not gonna make the money right away. Like I know that's not really, and that's not what I'm searching for. Like I have a lot of debt and I want to pay that off first, and that's why I'm trying to hustle through just being in this crappy, corporate world. But ultimately, I don't want to have to care about my funds that much. I want to live cheaply and just like do the things I enjoy doing. But I mean, to live in a big city that I live in, like I'd expect to make, 60, 70,000, from a job that I need to survive on or so. But, yeah.
Okay. And what city do you live in?
I'm in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Got it. Okay, sweet. Okay. I think I've got enough background information. Do you mind if we kind of riff off of this? Do you mind if we riff off of this? Is that cool with you, Jordan?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, sweet. So Kaizen, I want to throw the ball over to you because I love getting your insight. If you were, let's say if you were invested, I think this is a good mental model. If you were invested in Jordan, if he was a company and you're like, all right, I'm going to invest in you. Here's what I would recommend doing, as a board member. What would that be? What comes to your mind, Kaizen?
So, yeah, I just threw a link in there in the chat, and I came across this guy, Aaron Daughtry, has some of his stuff here recently. I threw it on the Discord the other day. It's exactly like what Jordan was just talking about. Like, because I used to do the exact same thing. I mean, I still probably do to an extent. I think everybody probably does, where you kind of get in your own way and you self-sabotage. Like you'll get a certain level of success and then maybe do something not like consciously on purpose that kind of like maybe like messes up your progress, but like subconsciously. And some of the stuff that Aaron Daughtry talks about in his videos is about, I mean, it gets kind of like woo-woo when they talk about like raising your frequency and your vibration and stuff like that. But what the main core of it is like going and kind of like completing maybe like something that happened when you were younger that subconsciously is like making you do that. Because a lot of the times, like maybe something happened like when you were like younger or like in your childhood or something like that, and it made you act in a certain way that might have like helped you at that time, but it doesn't serve you anymore, if that makes sense. So you're going through and like through like different processes of like meditation, like finding what those things were that you were like hung up on and what like kind of stops you from maybe like reaching that next level of whatever success that it is. And it completes that pattern, because a lot of the times like I did this, I would keep doing the same pattern where I'd get like a certain level of success. And then for whatever reason, maybe I felt like I didn't deserve anything better than that. And so I would like inadvertently self-sabotage or like do self-destructive behaviors that would kind of put me back to where I was like comfortable at, with like a lower level of that, because that was like more familiar to me. And then it was when I started to like go through these types of like past trauma healing programs or meditations or whatever you want to call it, that I started to like, okay, I'm seeing progress going up and up, and I'm not like fucking it up. I'm not like doing things that are like destroy that type of progress. So I would say like the first step is maybe do some like self-reflection, like cut out the easy stuff first, the low-hanging fruit. Like if you know you're doing stuff that's not really like helping you get to whatever kind of goals that you want, cut it out. Like if you're boozing hard or smoking or watching too much TV or things that you know is not really going to help you 5-10 years down the line. Like if you watch a Netflix show right now, is that going to help you 5 years from now? Is that going to matter at all? Probably not, right? So do things from that kind of mindset. Like, will this help me today? Will this help me next week? Will it be effective a month from now, a year from now, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, whatever it is? And then start like choosing to do things that way instead of like, all right, this feels good right now. I'm going to do this right now. And then just that, it's just like opening up your awareness to like what you can do and then go that way. Because most of the time, like you have all the skills already to do what you're wanting to do. If you're wanting to make $65,000, $70,000, that's not like a lot by any means, but you're probably already capable of doing that right now. And it's just like, okay, how do I open up my awareness to find what is going to make me that much money or what skills that I need to have if I don't already have it? Like you might already be in a position to do that. It's just like, all right, who do I need to talk to? What do I need to do to get to that? And then it's like the description I heard him say was like, it's already, that kind of stuff already exists. It's just like you doing things to like make it visible. Like it's already there. You just have to like put stuff in alignment to where it's like, okay, I see it now.
Yep. Yeah. No, Kaizen, I think that's great. And Jordan, can you still hear me, bud?
I can. You?
Okay. So do you mind if I throw a little pepper in there as well?
Yeah, please do. Please do.
All right. Okay. So number one, I agree with a lot of stuff that Kaizen said. For sure, I think it's always worth it. Sort of like going back, doing these exercises, getting to the nucleus of the problem, childhood, et cetera. What patterns am I running from an early age? I've done that. Kaizen's definitely done that. And dude, it is infinitely valuable. I also think it's iterative. So I still do it, and Kaizen shaking his head, he still does it as well. So I think you can run that. At least what I do is, and have done, is I've run that in parallel. So that's a constant. I'm constantly going to be working on myself, constantly going to try to dig under the surface and so on. A mental model that I've also used to help, I would say I wouldn't say cure, I would say manage self-sabotage, because I still go through it. And Kaizen seems like he's saying like every dude still goes through it. There's always some sort of like thing in the back of our head saying, you're not fucking worth it. Like, you're not going to get this done. People are going to discover that I'm a fraud, like whatever that is. Right. So I think it's just not a matter of, I think it's a matter of how can we reduce the volume of that voice, and then how can we increase our strength and action to supersede it, right? To beat it. So our offense outpace the defensive. A mental model that really helps me, and this helped me in sales, dude. And like, I can tell you, I'm not bragging by any means, but I've brought in like millions upon millions of dollars in sales revenue. And I'm not, and again, not pounding my chest. I'm saying I've done that with a shitty mindset. Like quite literally, the mental model I use is like, I'm going to suck. Oh, well, right? Like, hey dudes, sorry for the interruption here. Just wanted to let you know, if you want to join our pro team, go to romasteam.com/pro. You can help support the channel. You will also get access to exclusive content, masterminds, one-on-one sessions, etc. All right, back to the episode. So, and the funny thing is, man, you can get so many results just by showing up and sucking shit. It's just because other people will not show up. So I have closed so many sales just saying, well, yep, like I'm going to assume zero. And no sales book tells you to do this. They don't, like, they tell you to do the opposite. Like, go in, look in front of the mirror. Like, I'm the best. By the way, that shit works. But there's still a little voice in my head that says, no, you suck. So dude, still even like 70% of the time I go into a sales situation, I say, look, yep, I'm going to suck, but I'm going to go anyway. And now my expectation is zero. So now if I close a sale, let's just say, and luckily our ratios are very high, I think, because I have this mindset and because I'm highly technical. Like, if you know your stuff, I'm telling you, like, it's kind of like this. Like, if you had a bow and arrow, and bow and arrows, I don't know anything about them. Kaizen and the rest of the guys probably know way more about this stuff than I do. But like a bow and arrow, I'm going to imagine that for me to send that arrow very far distance, I don't really have to be that good because the machine is so freaking good now. Like the technology is so good that it doesn't really matter my mindset. Now, if I'm trying to make the goal so precise that I have to hit the bullseye, that's a different story. But if I just need to send the arrow across the field, I can do that with the tool. So I would say you already have the tool. If you stick within the genre that you love, that you're passionate about, you say like you've lost 100 pounds, right? And from what I hear is you saying you want to do something you're passionate about. It's not too far of a leap to say, well, maybe you should go in that direction, right? Like go in some sort of the weight loss space or something like that. Now, does that feel right to you? Like, would you like doing that?
Can you repeat? You cut out a little bit.
Like, would you like working in the weight loss space?
Yeah, I think I would. I don't know for sure yet.
Yeah. So here's the thing. So. You don't have to be 100% positive, but what I hear is saying, I want to do something passionate. And the reason I asked you, and Kaizen is spot on. The reason I asked you how much money you want to make, like if you would have said $3 million, I would have said, okay, well, you might not be able to go and become a personal trainer and make $3 million. By the way, I don't think that $3 million should be the goal, but if you said that, then it's like, I got to adjust my, not my recommendation, but my input on it. You want to make $50,000 to $70,000, $80,000, blah, 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 et cetera. Dude, you could totally do that. Now, I do think there's a myth of the grand opening. I think that a lot of people say, oh, like, I'm going to go like, yeah, like I want to work in the weight loss space. So I need to cut what I'm doing now and have this big grand opening, this big coming out of the closet. And then that's going to be my big thing. Dude, at least me personally, that makes me super uncomfortable. What I did, and I think is really effective, and I manage people's money. So I get to see what like the successful people, what they've done, like to a very large degree. Dude, I can tell you the majority of people dipped their toe in the water, right? They did their full-time thing and then they started a part-time thing over here. Or they did their full-time thing and then they jumped ship and they did the same thing just for themselves. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't like, oh, I was working as an accountant. Then I quit. I had this big scene where I went into my boss's office. I tell him to go, fuck himself. And then I walked down, I started my own company the next day and I made $1 million the next week. I've never seen that happen. So I think a legitimate alternative for you is you keep doing what you're doing to pay the bills. Then if you're serious, right, go and become a personal trainer or coach or whatever on the side for a couple hours a week. Now, I don't know what you make, but let's just say you make, I don't know, $60,000 a year. I have no idea what you make. So now you only have a $10,000 delta. You want to get to 70,000. So you just need to make 10,000 next year, right? Or for the next year. Well, that's only, let's just say a little under $1,000 a month. Well, $1,000 a month, you only need 1 or 2 clients, right? Let's say in the fitness space, and only 1 or 2 sessions a week, right? For the next year. So you eclipse that $70,000 number, assuming there's a $10,000 difference. Does that make sense? So now you go from this big, like ambiguous, I don't know what it is, or like maybe this big vision. It's like, no, break it down into the smaller vision. Go and dip your toe in the water. Dude, if you lost 100 pounds, I can tell you, if I were to walk into every single LA Fitness and 24-hour fitness, and those guys are I'm sure making more than $10,000 a year doing maybe what you want to be doing, like I guarantee you are more qualified than every single one of those dudes. If I were to walk in every single LA Fitness around my neighborhood, 0 of them have lost 100 pounds. How many people do you know lost 100 pounds?
Yeah, almost none.
Almost none, right? So like your local competition is basically almost none. I'm willing to guarantee it, right? So like now, that's why I love the idea of you potentially looking into that space because you are already an expert. I don't care if somebody went to college for this. I don't if they're a physical therapist. They haven't lost 100 pounds. Like somebody who's looking to lose 10 pounds, 20 pounds, 30 pounds, 100 pounds, etc. You have done it. You are the expert. You've already scratched your own itch. Now you can help other people scratch theirs if you're into that sort of thing. And the cool thing is, don't quit your job. Go and test it on the side if you're serious about it in whatever version that means. Dude, you could start a podcast. It doesn't fucking matter. Where like you are the expert in that category. And then if your brain ever says that you're not, like picture and listen to my stupid voice saying you for sure are an expert. You lost 100 pounds. You did not lose 5 pounds. You are, I guarantee you, a subject matter expert on this category, right? So, and the voice is still going to come up. Fuck the voice. It's like, yeah, you're not going to be good. Don't expect to be good. But cool thing is you can find confidence in you've already done it. And I do think the checkmate move, and a lot of charisma and command guys talk about this. And Kaizen, I would love to get your perspective on what's the guy, Julian? I think like he teaches some really good stuff. I think the checkmate move is like some version of like, even if this all goes to hell, if I die tomorrow, who gives a shit? It doesn't matter, right? Like I get one go around on this earth, for life. At the end of the day, we're all going to be dust, right? So like that also helps me a little bit. So Kaizen, any comments on that, on all of that stuff?
Yeah, that's. I was actually just talking with my coworker this week when I was in Michigan about like the older you get, the more you realize nobody actually gives a fuck. That's why, like, when, like, it's a joke, but when you see the old guy at the gym who's just balls out naked, doesn't give a shit, when you're that age, you don't give a fuck about any of that. You're like, I'm going to die probably in like a few years. So why would I care about if somebody sees my balls? Like, so it's kind of the same mindset as like when you were talking about Julian, that he would say, think of your life as like a video game, and that you're like taking that third person, like GTA view, and you're trying to like max out whatever stats. And you're like, okay, what happens if I do this? What if I try this kind of like mission? What if I try this type of like goal? What happens? And then just have like an active curiosity with stuff, and then just don't be afraid to do it. Just be like, okay, well, I'm not dead, so I can still keep trying stuff. And then tagging on what Wes said, if you've already lost 100 pounds, that's like a big thing for like I have family members who would say like they were overweight and I don't understand what it's like to be overweight. I couldn't describe to them how to change habits. Whereas you have that knowledge of like, okay, I used to be this weight and then I made changes and now I'm this weight. Like that is extremely valuable because like most people, if they go to like a personal trainer, that personal trainer might not have been like a big person. They might have just been like into fitness, or maybe they used to be in like college sports and they decided to do this after. Whereas if you're coming from, all right, I used to be like a big guy and now I kind of got my shit dialed in, I can show you exactly what you need to do and what like steps to take along the way. I made the mistakes and I know what to cut out to where you're not going to make those same mistakes. Like I know now what I do and then what you do or what I did at that point. And then you're just kind of like relaying that information, being like, hey, I know where you're coming from. It might be hard, but I mean, if I can do it, you can do it.
Oh, 100%, dude. And Jordan, what I would say there is like, document your journey to your best recollection. And if you want, like, have somebody interview you. And if you want my help, I'm more than happy to interview. We can even put it on this podcast. It's like, I can interview you on like what your journey was. I can ask you all the questions and that can help extract your journey. And you don't have to take me up on that. Like, do whatever it takes to extract out of your head and put on paper what the journey was. Oh, what'd you say?
No, I was just saying, I really thought about that because I do I sleep with myself a lot in the sense that like, I don't really give myself really any credit for my weight loss. I'm like, well, I'm glad I got it done. You know, I'm glad that, but I definitely don't like credit myself for anything. Like, but it'd be cool to look back at what I did do it. Because I don't think I think about that enough.
Oh yeah. Do you have before and after pictures by any chance? I'm sure you do.
I have a few, yeah. I don't have a ton from when I was bigger because, I mean, when you're big, you don't like to take pictures of yourself and you don't like with your shirt off. But I have a couple, yeah, and it's pretty wild and as people, this is a quick side note, but, you know, I see my pictures, you know, then and now, and I still see the fat guy in the mirror. I don't see the new guy in the mirror still, and it's really strange to me.
Oh, dude. Like the stuff that you're talking about right now, they say in copywriting, sales copywriting, it's all about meeting the client where they are, the conversation they're having in their head. Just by you saying what you just did, right? Like all of the dudes who are trying to lose weight, I promise you have that same thing. Like, or who have lost weight. Oh, I see myself still as the fat kid. Dude, I've heard that so many times talking to dudes who have lost weight. And the guys who are still trying to lose weight, that's the conversation. Like I'm the fat kid, right? I'm the fat guy. Dude, you could provide so much value. And the thing is like Kaizen was saying, yes, still do the work of like, why are you not taking credit? But while you're doing that, provide value for others. Because I would tell you, if I were your brother, saying, okay, cool. You go and do the work on taking the credit, having the self-worth thing, for sure. But don't delay on providing value to other people. You're providing value to us right now, right? Like, you're providing value to the guys listening to this right now. I think this is the first time you've been on, right? At least with me, right? Right. So it's like, and you're sharing your story. That right there, I guarantee you, sometime either now or in the future, somebody listens to this and says, oh shit, like, this dude lost 100 pounds. And he doesn't seem very confident in his ability, but he still lost 100 fucking pounds. If he can do it, I can do it. That's value, bro. Like 100%, man. So what I would say for sure, well, actually, let's pause there. Are you still there? If you're still there, say something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'll pause there from what Kaizen and I have said. How are you feeling? And if you're on that same vibe of what we're hinting at, what would be a couple guesses of your next actions?
I mean, I'm feeling, honestly, just a quick conversation. I'm feeling really good. I'm fairly new to this switch in mindset of wanting to get out of the corporate world and kind of wanting to do something in the health and wellness space. And I've been trying to find like something to click to be like, what do I want to do? And just this conversation is like, oh shit, yeah, I could definitely provide feedback to people on weight loss. Like that's a no-brainer. Honestly, I've already been looking at, like, I just don't know how exactly to get started without, being like certified or, whatever. I think that's the biggest hurdle I'm finding right now is I don't have credentials besides, losing weight. And so I've been looking around like certifications and stuff. And of course, it was all cost a ton of money. But I guess my next step is I need to figure out what I can do, with limited funds, but also provide value to people. I think that's my next step. And then finding how to make that value valuable to me at some point.
Kaizen, if taking that feedback, how would you respond to that?
If you've already done the research, then you might be familiar. I know a couple people that took the ACE personal fitness certification. You can do all of that stuff online. They have it to where you don't have to pay a whole bunch of money at once too. You can do like a payment plan. That would be something that you can. Yeah, ACE. There's a bunch of different ones. That's like one of the ones that I remember. But you can do that like part-time to where you don't have to like jump right into it right away. And then what you could also do is like start with it. This is, if I was to recommend somebody, this is what I would say is start making like a Facebook page or social media pages just for that, and start building content on it of like your journey of like becoming the trainer or whatever it is, and document it, because that kind of like builds your story. And then once you get that certification, it also kind of adds like credentials, and it shows like, all right, he didn't just like make a personal training page like today. He's been working on this, and this is what he's been doing. This is his background. Talk a little bit about like what you went through, why it's important to you. I think that's a big one, is why did you lose 100 pounds? Like really, really be honest about it. Like why, like what made you, okay, like today I'm going to take the first couple steps to doing that, because it's not like something that somebody just is like, okay, I'm going to do this just because I felt like it. It's like, what was it that motivated you to do that? And then maybe other people are like feeling the same way, or they don't know what steps to take. And I think that's probably the biggest thing, is like, you have a lot of value that you can be giving to people, especially something like that. Like, I think that's a really noble thing to want to like help people do, because I mean, you look at like the obesity rates, especially like the United States, and how many health conditions are a direct result from that. Like heart disease is like the number one killer in the United States, if I remember right.
Oh man,
that's like directly correlated to people's health most of the time. So if you could help people kind of like have a healthier lifestyle, and then just kind of express, this is why I wanted to do it. Maybe you have like your different reasons or your why. Like when people talk about sales and stuff, they always say, find your why, and then you'll find your motivation to do whatever it is. And if you can say, all right, I want to help people, and then that first person that you help do it, you'll kind of like get that, you get hooked. You get like when somebody's like, "Oh, thank you, that really meant a lot to me.
Hell yeah.
That helped me a lot." I think that first taste of it, you'll be like addicted, and that'll help like whatever like plateau you're at will help motivate you to keep going and going and going and going.
Hell yeah. I've already kind of experienced that. So beyond the wellness, like the losing weight, I've also got really big into breath work in the last 7, 8, 9 months or so. The gym I go to, there's a dude there that is super all on it. And I've been slowly trying to help friends like do, pre-breath work, working out your intercostals and getting the diaphragmatic breathing dialed in before you go into like actual breath work session. And I've shared that with a few friends recently, and they were so grateful. And like, they'd never experienced like breath work like that. And they're like, holy shit, this is so awesome. I'm like, yeah, like this is, and that's one of the big things I'm passionate about right now too, is just the breath and using the breath to heal my mind when I'm anxious and heal my body when it's, tired. So yeah, that's a great point. Like helping people just find breath recently has brought me a lot of joy. Like I can only imagine what bringing people into a healthier space overall that'd be really rewarding.
Dude, I'm telling you, I think you're right on the edge if you just lean into it a bit. Kaizen is spot on. And like, yeah, you don't necessarily, I hope you didn't know this. I'm not telling you that my vote is you have to go into the weight loss space.
Yeah. No,
you have
sure.
such an origin story that can pivot to anything. Like that hub and spoke model. It's like, I lost 100 pounds. Like, obviously it's commitment to like healthy lifestyle. And here's what I'm doing for a healthy lifestyle. It could be breath work, could be nutrition, etc. Like, I'm telling you, dude, like you kind of said earlier, oh, I lost 100 pounds, but I don't have the credentials. In my opinion, wrong way of thinking about it. It's like, no, you lost 100 pounds. Sure, could you add a cherry on top and add credentials? Sure. But dude, I can tell you that credentials don't really move the needle in a lot of industries. I promise you. A lot of people who are not willing to go out there and really help people, like really do the work of helping people, they'll fall back on getting credential after credential after credential. And it's like, congratulations. Like, and then you just go work for a company who's going and getting the clients because you're not willing to do it. I'd rather have you go out and actually start to help people without the credentials. And I would almost be willing to bet that you will see that you probably don't even need the credential ever. Right. And if you do, maybe you need one. Maybe you need maximum 2. You don't need 55. I promise you that. I see in finance all the time.
Sure.
Like I know people who make a fraction of what they should or could because they live in perpetual classes. So and dude, I think honestly, if I were you, I would either like create a video tomorrow or be interviewed. Like I said, I'm happy to do it. We can put it on this podcast, interview you just about your journey, put it up on there, and then you could share that video out to your Facebook account or whoever. Just get to helping somebody as soon as possible. Call your buddy who's struggling with weight loss, or call your friend who seems like you're already doing it. Talk to people about breath work. Go into a space that you're only willing to do for the next 25 years. Doesn't mean that you have to do it, but means that you would do it if you like chose to go down that path. In other words, in my opinion, don't go down any opportunity rabbit holes just because, it seems like I'd make a bunch of money from it. But you would not be willing to do for 25 years. I guarantee you, for you to move the needle at all in terms of your balance sheet, in terms of your life in general, you have to be committed to volume. And the only way to be committed to volume is to do it over time. And you're not going to do something at a voluminous basis, and you're not going to do something over a long period of time if you're not into it. It seems like you're really into this, dude. So it's like, be ready and willing to help thousands of people doing it. And the only way to start on that is like if you actually start helping people, which it seems like you already have done. Just keep doing more.
Dude, fuck yeah. Damn.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah. And then you'll get better at it. Like, develop your own religion around it. Like, think about if you had to write the Bible for you and for the value and service that you offer to people, like, get committed to that level of specificity and start writing it down every single day. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Before you know, like, dude, 3, 4, 5 months from now, 5 years from now, you'll be in a completely different trajectory.
Damn.
Kaizen, would you add anything else to that, bro?
Just reiterating what we said before is, especially like if you feel I don't have the qualifications to do this, just by existing, just by being you already are enough. You don't need to feel like you need a piece of paper to tell that you are. You don't need somebody to say any of this shit. It's not doing anything but telling you what you already know deep down, is that you're good enough. You can do whatever it is that you want to do, and you can do it and trust that you can. Trust yourself and trust the universe or whatever religion thing that you believe that you can do it. It'll be cool.
Yeah.
It'll be all right.
Dude, the funny thing is, I think the thing you think is working against you, I actually think is the exact thing that works in your favor, right? Like the value is in the vulnerability. Literally, dude, the sales pitch that you probably don't think would work, I think would work the best for you. It's like, hey, just leading with, I don't have the credentials. I'm just a normal guy and I lost 100 pounds. But dude, so many people would listen to you just off of that alone. Like you're like, where people get into trouble is they try to, the whole fake it till you make it bullshit. I personally don't like that, right? Like, it's like, hey, I don't have my credentials, but I kind of did this thing. I lost 100 pounds. So I guess I know something about it. If you're interested, I could teach you. You know how many people will take you up on that, right? It's crazy. Give me $20 and then you can increase your price from there. Dude, massive amounts of people will take you up on that. So you already have the gold, dude. And if you dig into your vulnerability and just live it, like shine light on the shame, it's like, yeah. And you can even tell them, I'm not so confident, but I think I might be able to help, right? Like I guarantee you people listen to you. I'm listening to you right now.
That's a really good point. Holy shit. Wow.
Yeah.
I love that.
Do you have a pair of your old pants?
You actually, I want one pair of shorts that I say this American Eagle size 44 pants.
Nice, dude.
And I keep it around just because I'm like, well, I can't fit in a 44 anymore, and I'm happy. So that's dope.
Dude, yeah. I think you're on the journey, bro. I would love to hear an update. I would, if you can, just pick one action from between now and next Friday, and whether it be to like help a buddy or whatever, pick that one. Actually, would you mind telling us what would be the smallest action you could take towards helping one other man or woman, depending on what angle you want to go on? What would be the smallest action you could take?
I mean, honestly, I kind of want to do what you said and start getting my story established. And then, I have plans with a friend next week to do some breath work in the park. So I'm starting to really introduce everyone in my life to things that are bringing me attitude.
Hell yeah. Yeah. So if you don't mind, we'll circle back next Friday. And if you're on the cast, that'd be awesome just to give us a quick update. Just like the next tiniest action, just go and do that. And I would love to hear next Friday. I think Kaizen is spot on. Let's hear your why. Just spend 5 minutes on writing down why and like the little nooks and crannies of that story. Dude, I think that'll be gold for you. Gold.
So I'm not going to get into all of it right now. There's actually a whole why. I've looked into a lot of this and like I pieced a lot of it together, but now it's a matter of like getting that whole thing out together in a big chunk. But I definitely have a why, and I can share that sometime, if I get on and we want to chat more. But there's definitely that. Like it's been a big journey and a big phase for me. Now I'm just, I'm on here because I'm looking for my next phase, my next big leap of, my next chapter in my life.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, I think you're right on the edge of it, brother. And actually, dude, you're already doing it. You're already helping people with breath work. I think you dig a little deeper into that, dude. You give it a handful of months, you'll be on a completely different path, bro.
Doc, I appreciate that.
Cool. Hell yeah, dude. Well, please give us some updates next week and have an awesome fucking weekend. Kaizen, anything else to add, brother? All right, dudes.
Oh,
well, you guys are awesome. Jordan and Kaizen, thanks for joining on the cast. You guys have a great weekend.
Yeah, you too, bro. Thank you so much.
Dude. Thank you. Later.